Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. YourFieldersChoice.com daily hit and run show. MLB DFS. Pete Cole here today. I am solo. Just found that out about 30 seconds ago. So just give me a couple seconds to get my bearings straight. But that's cool. We're here for MLB. But first of all, YourFieldersChoice.com. Check us out. Fairly new site. Small sports are mostly our specialty, but of course MLB is our flagship, along with NFL, NHL, and all that. YourFieldersChoice.com. We have an MLB promo going on right now. $25 a month, first 2 months. That includes all sports. And right now, our all sports is crushing. And I apologize. I'm going to keep looking away from the camera because I have my screen to my left. But right now, YourFielder's Choice, we have tennis. We have probably, I would say, I've been around the DFS industry since 2012, and I've never seen tennis. The tennis cheat sheet here is by far, I think, the best in the industry. That's back up and running. We got crazy, especially these tennis sites are really early, like 5 a.m. But we have Chris running a tennis and premium, running that cheat sheet, crushing. I see NHL playoffs right now is doing really well. We have a winning lineup room, which is free. MLB last night was a little bit of a hiccup. We'll talk about that in a second, but we had a really good week in MLB. We've had some guys with some really big, at least triple digit scores. I mean, dollar wise, I'm seeing a lot of tennis winners here, seeing a lot of NASCAR. I guess they had a good weekend on NASCAR. So thumbs up to Eric, Big E, our NASCAR guy. He does really, really good job with NASCAR, especially. He does a lot of free stuff in the free room, a lot of premium stuff. His videos, the Fabulous Four, are one of the best I've seen. So he does that once a week. They're all free on YouTube. So check that out. What else? You have Riley doing soccer. He just keeps crushing along. I'm seeing $8,000 scores there and some NBA playoffs and so on. But once again, we're here for MLB. What we're going to do today is break down the slate. It's a big one, so bear with me. Last night was a tough one, but hey, if I had to do it all over again, I would go right back to Pablo Lopez. I don't care. When the guy's got a .39 ERA, the best changeup in the game. He just had a hiccup yesterday. He gave up that tough home run. Was it to Peralta in the first inning? Still pitched well, and then ran some problems like in the sixth. But still, I would go right back to Pablo Lopez again today against Arizona. It was just a tough one, and then once again, there's no hitting. So if you had Lopez and you didn't get one of the big home runs, you probably weren't going to cash. But the good thing about DFS is we are here. It's another day. So the slate is wiped clean. But it's a big one. It's a Tuesday, usually a big slate. So first of all, once again, you guys give me some comments here so we can make the show a little bit better too. And you guys watch and throw some comments in there, ask some questions, give me some stats, whatever. We can do this together, make it less painful. But once again, weather. We do have some weather tonight. I just called that up per Kevin Roth. Give him the kudos from Rotor Grinders. We're only going to be talking 7 p.m. slate. There's enough game to talk about as it is. But we have Pittsburgh, Detroit. And I love Austin Meadows in that game, which I'll get to that in a second. But Pittsburgh in Detroit, he's got as an orange. So they're going to be dealing with rain heavy throughout the morning and afternoon. They're hoping it tapers off by the evening. So we got to pay attention to that game. That game may be a postponement, but I'm still going to talk about it as if it's going on. And then we have Wrigley, the White Sox at Cubs, the two Chicago teams. Looks like it's going to be drizzling most of the day. They're going to play through it, but we have some wind coming in at 22 miles an hour with Michael Kopech having a really good year. And then our old favorite veteran, Drew Smiley, the lefty, going for the Cubs with wind blowing in. So that's more of a pitcher's game. And then it's a core slate. I hate course slate, but something we got to deal with. We have Marquez going for Colorado. Always pitches good at home. Going up against Washington. The Washington bats are really cheap. So we'll get into that. So every time it's a course slate, it makes the slate a little bit different. We'll try to work through that today too as we're going. All right, that's weather. What do we got on Vegas right now? Vegas, the updated Vegas numbers I have are highest implied runs on the slate. Right now, the Rockies in course 5.9 going up against the Nationals. The only team over 5. So they're almost at 6 runs. They opened up 5.9, still at 5.9. Then we have the Washington Nationals in course 4.9. 4.9 runs. Only other teams above 4.5 runs are the Astros, maybe my favorite stack, going up against Chris Flexen in Seattle, 4.8 runs. Detroit going up against Bryce Wilson, who I think is a gas can, 4.7 runs. And then the Angels at Fenway, 4.5 runs. That's all the teams above 4.5. Angels, Tigers, Astros, Nationals, and of course the Rockies in Coors against Washington. On the money line, biggest favorite right now is Brandon Woodruff, minus 270, going up against the Reds. Right now, the Reds are historically one of the worst teams in baseball history with this start. Minus 270, open up at minus 210. Now it's jumped all the way 60 points more at 270. Nobody else is above minus 200 today. The closest to that is minus 162. That's the Twins. They've actually dropped a little bit. They're going up against Baltimore in Camden Yards with Joe Ryan going, a good pitcher, minus 162. After that, we got the Rockies and Marquez, minus 157. Pretty good favorite. And then Christian Javier and Houston, minus 153, going up against Seattle. That's all the teams, minus 150 and above on the money line. All right, that's Vegas. Enough of the boring stuff. Let us get right into let's get into pitching right away. Let's go to let's start out with let's start out with, I'm going to be generally, but since I don't have Adam with me, I'm going to be generally looking at DK today. We're going to be starting pretty much looking at cash, looking at some ownership, and taking it from there. So it looks like what I'm seeing 3 pitchers right now that are going to be vying for your top 2 spots on DK. Expensive though, so at least 3 of them vying for your SP1 slot. Looks right now per ownership wise, I'm seeing Woodruff and Kopech, both about 35%. And then we got Joe Ryan, who I like, around 28%. And then everybody else under that. And that's probably the way it's looking for cash right now. And I'm probably going to try to double barrel it and get the 2 studs in my DK SP1, SP2. So looking at Woodruff first, and Woodruff did have some hiccups at the beginning of the season. He really struggled at the beginning. He really struggled to get his strikeout stuff going. But he is now coming back into form over the last couple of games, struck out 15 in his last 10 innings. That's a really good sign for Woodruff. So right now his K rate is up to, I'm looking at 2001 to the last 2 years, is at almost 30%. The main thing with Woodruff, so Woodruff right now is going up. Woodruff is, man, there's a lot of games. So Woodruff right now going up against the Reds. So Reds said worst team in baseball. Right now he's throwing at 31% strikeout rate to lefties, 27 strikeout rate to righties. The Reds right now striking out as a team 22% to right-handed bats. So it's not horrible, but it's not, great. But they have really bad swing and strike rate, 12.4. So Woodruff is probably going to be my favorite pitcher, SP1 on a slate. The Reds are only hitting 202 versus righties, 132 ISO. So definitely Woodruff should be back in action, should be back to the old Woodruff we're used to seeing as my SP1. Now, if you want to go to your SP2, between Kopech and Ryan. So I like this Joe Ryan kid. He's under 10K on DK. So I think you should be able to fit Woodruff and Ryan together, unless you want to go Kopech, the same thing. Right now, he's going up against the Orioles. The Orioles right now are, I think, ranked 25th team Mlb. Second high strikeout rate, 25%. 24.9, 12.7 swing and strike rate, 26.2 with the strikeout rate. That's against righties, Joe Ryan. Ryan right now, and Ryan is crushing right-handed bats. 38% strikeout rate to right-handed bats, only 22% strikeout rate to lefties. But still, it's the Orioles. Orioles just are not hitting. I'm looking at more recent stats. Baltimore pretty much has got mostly right. I mean, Austin Hayes, Castle, Uriah. So they got some lefties in there, but the lefties are not going to scare me. Rojo Dor, he had his home run for the season the other day. Ben Boom, Mullins lefty leading off. But I like Joe Ryan this spot as my SP2. If you don't like Joe Ryan, Michael Kopech is going to be another popular name. I still, especially in Wrigley with that wind blowing in, I mean, I don't mind him at all. He probably does slide. Remember, this is only 10 a.m. So right now at 10 a.m., he's probably been my third. But he's looking at 33% strikeout rate overall between lefties and righties. 42% against lefties. So he really does well against left-handed bats. Chicago will be coming at him with some lefties. They got Ortega's lefty, Rivas is lefty, Hayward, Ian Happ is a switch hitter. So, but he's striking out Rays too, almost 30%. So no problem to Kopech, no problem to Ryan. But you probably want to use one of them along with Woodruff as your two top cash plays. That's how I'm going right now. But still, my favorite pitcher overall on the slate right now is probably still only GPP, but by the end of the day I may change. Is going to be a low-owned Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon right now is on fire. Best pitcher in baseball. The thing is, he's going up against the Dodgers. So he's a slight underdog today. Right now, the latest has the Dodgers is a 180, but I don't care right now. Rodon is having an awesome season. 1.84 Sierra, 14.9 K per 9, 16% whiff, chase rate of 37%. That's elite numbers. Okay. And the Dodgers right now are struggling a little bit. The Dodgers are struggling right now against lefty pitchers, 289 WOBA and 24% K rate. So we know it's the Dodgers. You usually never pick on the Dodgers bats, but if there's ever a time to pick on the Dodgers bats, it would be today against lefties. So I have a 189 ISO, 289 WOBA going back to last year against lefties. Remember the Dodgers, that probably makes him a GPP play, but he's an underdog, and the Dodgers got an all-star lineup there. But I think Rodon is on one of them rolls right now. He's unbelievable. Still probably more GPP play, but by the night, you never know. I could end up having it in my cash. So I like Rodon. A couple other guys I like. You got to talk about this Zimmerman kid. This Zimmerman kid for Baltimore has just been, the kid's been awesome. And all these Baltimore pitchers have actually been really well. Have been really good. So you can't. We're used to beating up all these guys, all these Baltimore pitchers, but looking at Zimmerman right now, he's a lefty. I mean, you can definitely compare him to how John Means was for the Orioles back in 2019. Fooling batters. He's got a change-up heavy arsenal. He's 1-1, 0.93 ERA, which is elite. He's allowed no runs in 3 of his first 4 games, and he's got, a K to walk rate 21-6 in 19 innings. And now he's facing the Twins tonight. This Twins offense right now, we saw last night, everybody's on the Twins last night. Look what they did. This Twins offense is striking out 24.7% to left-handers, 146 ISO, 107 WRC plus. So at that price, at 6-1 on DK, Bruce Zimmerman could possibly be one of the top point per dollar plays pitcher-wise and possibly a top point per dollar-wise GPP. Now, it's still the Orioles. It's still these Orioles pitchers. They still scare me. I can see him implode anytime now. But the way he's been pitching, he's been pitching really well. There is some velo. I see his velo has dropped a little bit on the fastball, but 12.3% swing and strike rate. There's nothing, 33% chase rate, nothing wrong with that, especially when you're pitching a change-up heavy. So I like Zimmerman as a sneaky play, GPP play. Another play I like is Tyler Mahle. Mahle tonight actually pitching for the Reds. Mahle is a splits pitcher, but not lefty-righty wise. I'm talking about home away wise. You pitch Tyler Mahle away from America, Great America Small Park. Last year, when he was away, he was, at home he was 5-4. Away, he was 8-2. His ERA at home was 5.36. His ERA on the road was 2.30. 104 whip on the road to a 148 whip at home. And most of all, at home, he gave up 19 home runs. On the road, he only gave up, 5. So Mahle's always seemed like he's pitched better on the road. This year, he had one hiccup at home on the road. That was against the Dodgers, so you can give him a little bit of a scratch there. Gets a mulligan there. But his other game on the road was, I think, against the Braves, and he pitched really well against the Braves. Against the Braves game. So look for him to have a decent game today at Milwaukee. I think some more of a pitcher's battle, Woodruff versus Tyler Mahle. I'm probably not taking any bats from that game. Okay, that's Tyler Mahle. Anybody else I'm looking at? So Chris Duffy jumped in. What's up, Chris? Now you guys hit me too many questions. Okay, starts on Chris is asking me thoughts on Marquez as a sleeper GPP. I mean, definitely Marquez is always in play at Coors, one of the rare guys that is, and mainly because the Washington bats are just terrible. I mean, I'm probably not going to go to him, but if I'm making 10 lineups, I'll probably have Marquez in one of them. So, but right now, looking at the Washington hitters, Marquez since last year, exit of 4 elite, 22.8 strikeout rate. Nothing wrong with that. And right now, if you can get by Soto, Cruz, and Bell, you're cruising the rest of that lineup. So all these guys to a right-handed batter are under 200 or under 130 ISO, every one of them, beside Bell, Cruz, and Soto. Even though Yadi Hernandez is having a really good season, this is stats going back to last year. So Marquez is always going to play GBP for Coors, but he's going to be low owned, but he's obviously not one of my top ones. Pineda, no, I don't play Pineda ever. It's actually, if anything, it's like I said, I like Austin Meadows in that game. I'm not sure if that game is going to go, but if it does go, Pineda right now, let's look at his stats this season. So he's only what, I think he's pitched 2 games, but this season he's given up over 40% fly ball rate. Hard contact has been over 40%. So Pineda is Pineda. He's going to implode. He had a really good game against the Yankees. I give him that, but that's it. But the problem is you're right. The Detroit just doesn't hit. I mean, this Detroit team, going back the last 2 years, if I'm looking at anybody from, if I'm looking at anybody from Pittsburgh, I'm saying Detroit. If I'm looking at anybody from Pittsburgh, it's going to be Brian Reynolds, and Brian Reynolds is in a horrible slump. So he's had his worst month of his career in April. You know, this is probably the perfect game for him to break out of it against Pineda. But I see where you're coming from. Is Pittsburgh is their bats are so bad, but when you got Josh Van Meter batting 6th, Swinsky batting 7th, these guys are all lefty bats. Cole Tucker at the bottom of the order. I guess he's a play, but it's Pineda. I just can't. To me, he's Bartolo Colon light 2022. But yeah, I guess for GBP, because Pittsburgh's at such a bad order, and Brian Reynolds isn't hitting. So not a bad call. Alek Manoah against the Yankees. Don Day, that's another good call. Manoah's been awesome. So he's actually his bat pip is 210, but he's got 94% strain rate. So I don't like his Sierra, but he's got a decent ERA, 1.44. So the thing is, but he's good. So, and the thing is with Manoah, he shows up for these huge games. And the first start of his career was against these Yankees. I think it was Yankee Stadium too. This time though, he gets the Yankees in Rogers Center, Batters Park, but he does. Okay, here's a stat I have right now. Against the Yankees, since that opening day, his first start ever back last May, he's allowed just 3 runs in 17 innings, 18 Ks. So he's not going to get much ownership here today. So Alek Manoah, yeah, is a really good call tonight against the Yankees, especially in a hitter's park. People are going to be off him. 28% K rate. Not bad for a young pitcher, but just remember the Yankees when, Rizzo's hot. Joey Gallo's actually heating up a little bit, but he did sit out the last game, right? Great GPP play. You can't play Manoah. You definitely can't play Manoah in cash because we just know how the Yankees have been hitting lately. So Manoah's GPP. I guess you can call Pineda GPP. I definitely, on the other side of the game, I'm definitely not throwing Bryce Wilson out there. I think Bryce Wilson is not good. Who else we got? One of the guys is Paul Blackburn. I don't mind Paul Blackburn a little bit for Oakland. So he's got a 2.33 Sierra. Not bad. 4 starts. Decent walk rate. And one thing I like about Paul Blackburn for Oakland is he keeps the ball on the ground. I stacked Tampa last night. I thought he was going to get something going. He started scoring some runs and it didn't come through. But right now, Blackburn has got a 54% ground ball rate and a low 25% fly ball rate. That's elite. So good young pitcher. He hasn't given up a home run, I don't think, at all this year. And he's in Oakland tonight, Oakland Coliseum, which is definitely a pitcher's park. So I like Blackburn and GPPs. Definitely sneaky play. The Rays strike out 24%. Wool was under 300. So don't sleep on Paul Blackburn tonight either. So kind of to wrap things up, to see if there's anybody else I'm missing that's got big strikeout rates. We mentioned Kopech and the Cubs that have big strikeout rate. Christian Javier is another one. I think he could go either way. He's the type of guy that could definitely one boomer bust play on the slate, but definitely can't use him in cash. I'm not paying that money for Noah Syndergaard. Yeah, that's probably all I'm seeing. Drew Smiley's a gas can. The rest of these guys are gas. All right, so again, I think that's pitching. So once again, to wrap it up, I think you're looking at 3 pitchers in DK. You want to use 2 of them. I'm probably going to go both high price tonight. Woodruff, Kopech, or Joe Ryan. Right now, I'm leaning Ryan and Woodruff, but you could easily go Kopech. I did mention Julio Urias. I'm not a Urias guy, but definitely Urias could have good game GPPs, definitely. And I like Carlos Rodon tonight, even though it's against the Dodgers. Here's another name, Brad Keller. You don't sleep on Brad Keller. I mean, well, you used to always sleep on him, but Keller's not having a bad season going up against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, these guys, they can go in a little lulls. But looking at just this year's stats, it's much better than last year. Not walking people at all. Decent xFIP 3.99. Keeping the ball on the ground 56%. Wow, he's just like a Blackburn, 26% keeping the ball out of the air, only 26% fly ball rate. So I like Brad Keller tonight. And right now, this year, the Cardinals cannot hit righties. There's not, beside Arenado, there's nobody even, I don't think, above 100 ISO against right-handed pitching. So add Brad Keller to the GPP list. All right, so that's pitching, I guess. Let's go around the bases and see what we got. Once again, it's a big-ass slate. I'm not going to sit here and talk about every player. So let's just see what we got. I'll just give you probably the top cash plays ownership, and if there's any other sneaky plays I like, let me just call it up. My computer all of a sudden has decided like it doesn't want to work the last 2 days. Okay, so let's start catching. It looks like if we're looking for cash, my favorite all-around catcher tonight. Well, I guess I'm wrong because I'm looking. We get the win factor. It would be Grandal against Smiley, but we got that wind blowing in, so I'll probably have to go away from that. Probably the best overall catcher is going to be Salvi Perez going up against Dakota Hudson. Perez hits righties 249 ISO. We know what Salvi can do, so definitely can hit a home run here. Ownership wise, right now, Grandal is still carrying that ownership 17%. So if we see those win numbers go down a little bit, he's going to be the play. So going back to Grandal against lefties, 249 ISO, 401 WOBA. That's elite. Okay. And Drew Smiley is terrible. So a couple other names, Omar Narvaez. He's always 3,700 now. I think Narvaez may have a BBP. I just saw a red flag on Narvaez. Let me see. 3 for 9 against Molly. Nothing big. No BBPs for catcher. You got Diaz in Colorado, but he's now 4-9. Elias Diaz against Eric Fetty, who's terrible. So, but to me, GBP only. I'm not paying 4-9 for Elias Diaz. Nobody else, honestly, is really jumping out. I'm not playing Will Smith against Rodon. Maybe Jeffers against Zimmerman. Tucker Barnhart. Nah, we got Rain there. So right now, catching is what you do is you wait and see when lineups come out. You see the cheapest catcher, maybe, got the splits advantage and take that. Unless the weather changes, then Grandal's going to be a top play. I'm not even going to spend another minute on catcher. Okay, first base. Looking at cash-wise right now, ownership levels could, of course, change so much in the next 6-7 hours. Right now, our top-owned first baseman is looking to be Shohei Ohtani against Waka. Ohtani, to me, I'm not playing Ohtani until he starts hitting again. Beside that, CJ Cron against Fetty. Cron is 5-3. Cron is probably your top play. They got that 6. They have that 6-run implied. Nobody's even close to them. And Cron's had a really good year. I mean, in and out of course. So he's got 8 home runs on a year. He's got OPS mid 900s. Fetty is a gas can. And at home, still, Cron's got an OPS of 1.153. So CJ Cron is going to be a good play. Then on the other side, of course, you got Josh Bell. Bell right now, and I beat up Josh Bell a lot over the last couple of years because I thought he was a really good player coming up, and then he just kind of like fell off. Well, he's having a good season right now. He's hitting 351. He's got 8 extra base hits. And the thing with Josh Bell right now, he's not striking out. And that's what really impresses me about Bell. He's not striking out at all. So that's what gives him that 179 WRC plus. In Coors against Marquez. Here's a stat I didn't notice on Marquez. He's now allowed 4 runs at least in 3 straight starts. And he's getting hit over 50% hard contact. So Josh Bell and Cron are probably your 2 top plays. Anybody else, though, beside Coors? Jose Abreu, you would think. But Abreu right now is something also. In Wrigley, but he got the wind. Jared Walsh gets a righty. That's not a bad play against me. All know Michael Walker can be a gas can. Walsh is not hitting, though. He's only hitting 150 over the last week. Rowdy Tellez, we like to play Tellez against righties, so you can throw Rowdy Tellez in there, GBP play, even though I like Tyler Molly. Tellez is hitting 290 over the last week. He had a bomb, I think it was on Sunday, I think it was. Joey Votto, no, I guess Woodruff. Votto was at the worst start to his career. Staying away from him. Staying away from the Giant guys against Arias for now. Staying away against most of these Yankees. Rizzo would probably be the only one I would maybe play against Manoah. He's the lefty. But, man, first base is going to probably come down to either CJ Cron or Josh Bell. Bell being 4,500, Cron being 5,300. If you want to get cheap and you want to go value right now, probably just this early looking at, I like Spencer Torkelson for the Tigers, but we got to worry about rain that game. He's only 2.6 going up against Bryce Wilson. I like Torkelson. If Franchi Cordero gets a start, he's only 2-1 going against Syndergaard, possibly in play. I can't believe Carlos Santana is down to 2-3, but Santana is not hitting. I mean, it seems like right now a 150 average is this year's 250 average for normally. But Santana's not hitting. I like Tyler Nevin, but he's going up against Ryan. So, once again, first base, you're going to either play Cron or Josh Bell. The wind changes. Abreu's in play. Ohtani's always in play. And that's probably it. Maybe a little bit of Rowdy Tellez. This early in the morning, nobody else. Said Darren Ruff's going against the Giants. Dodgers. I don't want to mess with that. Yep, that's it. Second base. Looking popularity. Once again, it's a Coors slate. So usually Coors slates, I'm going to start playing more GBPs and less cash, and then either fading Coors or going all in on Coors. Cesar Hernandez is only 3.5 in Colorado, so he's going to be the popular play. All right. I don't know. So my probably play is probably Jose Altuve going up against Chris Flexen. The Astros are in a really good spot tonight. They're probably my favorite stack. Right now, Flexen just cannot strike anybody out. He's career exit of 506. Even though Altuve's struggling, it's still Altuve really cheap on FanDuel at 3K. So probably more of a FanDuel play, but I still like Altuve to come out of it. Another play is Colton Wong. Another one out there slow start. Everybody's out there slow start though. But he's now hits in 4 of his last 5. Going against Tyler Molly. In those 5 games, he's hitting 318, a couple doubles. He's got a couple steals in those games. And Molly has been giving up runs, but most of them have been at home. So I like Wong. Any GPPs to look at right now. Tommy Edman hits Keller, 5 for 12, 417 average. Like I said, Wong does hit Molly a little bit, 5 for 19. That's like 270 average though, so nothing great. Looking at any big values tonight, it's probably going to be everybody's going to flock to Cesar Hernandez at like 3.5 against Marquez. You want to be different, you can look at Jorge Polanco is only 4K against Zimmerman. Polanco's a switch hitter, so you can give him that platoon advantage. Man, some of these bats are not looking really good tonight. Maybe Brandon Lau, because you play Brandon Lau against righties, but even though we like Blackburn, who's keeping the ball on the ground, doesn't give a fly ball, so that probably makes his blowout. But maybe GBPs, maybe Blackburn makes a mistake and Lau makes him look foolish. I'm a big Nicky Lopez guy, and Nicky Lopez gets a split against righty Dakota Hudson, 3.7. So maybe Nicky Lopez would be my favorite value. Adam Frazier's actually starting to heat up a little bit. You get Frazier going up against Javier. And like I said, Javier is one of those guys that's either boom or bust. So maybe look at a little bit at Adam Frazier. Frazier's 45. He's going up though. He's actually starting to hit the ball a little bit, I think, right? He's over 4 last night though. Nobody is jumping out here at second base either. It'd be Brian Lau, but it's Blackburn, so that kind of nullifies that out. Trevor Story against Syndergaard. You want to be different here. Everybody's gonna be going to Cesar Hernandez. I guess that's your cash play. But beside that, man, I don't know, man. I'll probably go to like a Tommy Edman, a Nicky Lopez, or maybe like a Colton Wong. DK and these prices, now they got these guys up over 4. They have Colton Wong, these guys up all over 4. When a week ago, most of these guys are in the 2s. All right, that's second. So we're looking at, once again, Cesar Hernandez as the cashy play. I don't mind Wong, and I mentioned Jose Altuve. Yeah, Hernandez is too cheap for Coors. He did have 21 home runs last year, but I don't think he's ever going to do that again. Okay, third base. Going around third base right now. I can probably guess who's looking. Really, there's no one looking at much ownership here. That's right, yeah, because we don't have much for Colorado. So, who would be my favorite third baseman? If you want to go to Coors, you got Ryan McMahon. Probably going to be batting 5th, I believe. Going up against a righty. He's only 46 on DK, 38 on FanDuel. So his OPS is, I don't like his OPS is like mid 700s. But he gets a decent matchup, I guess. So maybe Ryan McMahon. Is Bobby Whit still third base eligible? Yeah, Bobby Whit. Bobby Whit is 2.9. And most people don't realize right now that everybody's talking about, how he's had that slow start to the season. But right now, Bobby Whit is on a 10-game hitting streak. Yeah, during that streak, he's batting .316. 3 doubles, 2 ribbies. So the phenom is starting to come around. Faces Dakota Hudson, who's 485 xFIP, walks batters, doesn't miss bats, sub 20% K rate. That home run, Bobby Witt first home run, is going to be coming soon, and once he hits it, it's going to come in bunches. So Bobby Witt Jr. is probably my favorite third baseman tonight at 2.9 DK, 2.8 FanDuel, and he gives you some value to get to those top end pitchers. Now, who else am I missing at third? Devers against Syndergaard, lefty righty. Devers eats up righties. He can handle Syndergaard. 5,300 is probably your top pay up. 312 ISO, 405 WOBA. I mentioned McMahon, probably your second top play. Anthony Rendon against Waka, 4,400. Yup, you can play him. I'm not going to mess with Brad Keller probably, but you got Arenado righty on righty with Keller. We got the kid from Minnesota, Miranda. I think he's minimum price still. Matt Chapman starting to heat up. Chapman against Jameson Talan, 220 ISO on that reverse for Chapman, not bad. And then Bregman against Chris Flexen, righty on righty, but Bregman still hits righties. But Bregman is now 5K. I do like the Astros. Gino Suarez too, I guess. I'm starting to like Gino Suarez again. So overall, top overall place is Rafael Devers. No one's running away with the ownership for cash. McMahon's having in the popular play at 4.6. I like Bobby Witt down as your value. But also Bregman, Gino Suarez, I mentioned they're my top 2, and probably like a little bit of Matt Chapman. And then for like punt plays, probably Jose Miranda, the big prospect from Minnesota. If he starts again, going up against Zimmerman for Baltimore. Gio Urshela is hitting really well too, though. I give Gio Urshela credit, the ex-Yankee for Minnesota. My man Colin Moran gets a righty, but it's Brandon Woodruff, so can't deal with that. Okay, I haven't been looking if you guys had any questions. No. All right. If you guys have any questions, just ask in the chat there. Shortstop. Looking at popular shortstop right now, Javi Baez is looking at one of the top ownerships on DK. Javi Baez for Detroit going against Bryce Wilson. Then you got Carlos Correa against Zimmerman or Bo Bichette against Talon. Bo Bichette is starting to heat up. I said that in yesterday's show. I watched that game on Sunday. Between every innings, Bichette sat in that dugout, stared at that iPad, and you could tell he was so stressed out. He finally hit that bomb. You can see the weight was off his shoulders when he come around the bases. Just the smile on a kid. And now he gets Jameson Taillon, the Yankee, who I'm not a Taillon guy. And Bichette right now is starting to hit. Yesterday, he was 2 for 4, the double. He had the home run on Sunday. Saturday, he was 2 for 4. So Bichette is starting to hit. Good spot, even though it's a righty against Jameson Taillon. Bichette can handle Taillon. He may have a BBB too. Nothing big. All right. Actually, Brandon Crawford's got the best BBPs for shortstop, 6 for 19. So I like Bichette probably as the top overall play. Timmy Anderson gets a lefty, but it's got 20-mile-an-hour winds coming in. If that wind changes, Timmy Anderson's the play. Okay, you play Timmy Anderson against lefties with that power, smokes lefties, 245 by ISO, 425 WOBA, 364 batting average. Play Timmy Anderson, but you got crazy wind coming in. So right now, he's probably like my second play. If the wind changes, my top. If not, it's going to be probably Bo Bichette. I mean, Correa's in a good spot against Zimmerman. Got the splits there. Baez, we're talking about Baez against Bryce Wilson, but I'm not sure that game's going to go. But Baez, of course, he's now hitting 320 over the last week. He's starting to heat up again. I'm a big Javi Baez fan, but to me, he's more of a GPP play because of the way he likes to swing the ball. Now, going to Coors, we got two guys. Alan Trejo, the rookie for Colorado. He's 3,400 on DK, 25 on FanDuel, and then Lucius Fox for the Nationals. Fox is a dumpster dive, but I guess when you get a guy that cheap in Coors, you really can't go wrong, right? I mean, I don't even have his numbers in front of me. So here we go. His last game, he was 2 for 5 against the Giants. That was his first 2 hits of the season. So that's why he's 2-5. He hasn't played that much though. He played that Miami series. He was like 0 for 6, 0 for 7 or something. But Lucius Fox, hey, at that price, he can definitely not want to lose in Coors, especially if Marquez leads the game, 7th or 8th inning or something. But I just can't use him in cash. But he may be popular because of that price. Once again, I like Bo Bichette. If the wind dies down, the game goes, I love Timmy Anderson. Anderson would be my play. I think that's pretty much JP Crawford's on fire. Play him against Javier. Said Javier can either shut you down or give up the world. Feels like I'm missing somebody, but that's pretty much it. Turner's going against Rodon. No. Bogarts gets Syndergaard. Yeah, you can do that. Jeremy Pena, he's up to 4,400. I guess Pena against Flexen. I'm playing Astros today, and 281 ISOs. I guess Pena. But once again, I'm with Pena's 4-4, Bichette's 5. So if you have the money, you can use Pena. If you have the money, go Bichette. But I have no problem going down to Pena either. If you need another $200. Tyler Walls at shortstop, man. No, but it's going against Blackburn, who's keeping the ball on the ground. But Walls actually, I like Walls, man. But I mean, he can use something. Maybe get you a stolen base or something here. He got a stolen base a couple days ago against the Twins, but probably not because I don't like the price on Walls against Blackburn at 3,200. If not, I'll go all the way out to this Fox kid, I guess. Oh, sorry, I'm stuffed up today. Okay, now let's go to we're on the outfield now. Man, I don't like Coors slates, but we got to deal with them. Coors right now, outfield. The most popular plays are going to be Soto, of course. Juan Soto, 4A. And the problem with Soto is he like 4 home runs on the year and 5 RBIs. This is Barry Bonds reincarnated. All they're going to do is pitch around him. But Yadi Hernandez, I'd actually wrote him up earlier or something. Hernandez is, people don't realize, but Hernandez is one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's only 2.8 on DK. So he's slashing 340, 368, 509. He's got an OPS of 877. Over the last 7 days, he's hitting 350. And he's crushing that platoon at 366 WOBA, 40% hard contact. And he gets the platoon matchup against Marquez. Marquez is no pushover. I'm not seeing any ownership right now for Yadi Hernandez, but I'm assuming he's going to be starting. So I like Yadi Hernandez at 2.8. Of course, Soto, you can get him in there. Soto's only 4.8, mainly, I guess, because and all they do is pitch around him. But he could definitely lose one. Brian Reynolds is getting some ownership right now. But Brian Reynolds has had the worst month of his career in April. Good spot against Pineda. Great get right spot. I'm just not sure if it's a cash play, but he's 3-3. My favorite overall play tonight at outfield, getting rid of Coors, is Austin Meadows if that game goes off. Meadows is only 3.9 now. 2.8 on FanDuel. Meadows, his whole career has been a righty smasher. And I have no idea why he's under 4K when he's slashed in 319, 420, 406 with an OPS 826. But hey, he hits righties, going up against Bryce Wilson, who's horrible. 270 ISO, 369 WOBA against righties. Lock in Austin Meadows, I think, at 3.9. But you got to worry about that weather. If that's going to be really bad raining, then it's more of a GPP play. Another favorite I have as a value punt, way too cheap. Chad Pinder is only 2K on DK. Chad Pinder should not be bare minimum. So Ryan Yarborough's making his first appearance of the season. Probably going to go like 70 pitches. But still, Pinder should be leading off. Gets a split. 236 ISO, 345 WOBA, 52.6 hard hit rate. These are all big-time numbers. And right now, since he came out the COVID list, he is 5 for 11 with a home run in the last 3 days. Chad Pinder at 2K. You can definitely get these pitchers in, your Woodruffs, Kopechs, Ryans, all these guys. All you got to do is throw Chad Pinder pretty much in your lineup. So Pinder's like my top value punt play by far. Kevin Kiermaier's in a good spot. He's a lefty, but he's not pitting for power anyways against Blackburn. Just get him on base, give you a steal. Like him. Who else do we like here in the outfield? I mentioned Soto. The Rockies guys, you can definitely play Connor Joe and Charlie Blackburn today. Definitely. They should be going 1-2 in the order tonight. Going up against a righty Fetty. Definitely. Righty Fetty. Connor Joe's hitting really well. Kyle Tucker, possibly my favorite overall outfielder beside Austin Meadows. So I probably should like Tucker more the way he's hitting. He went 2 for 4 last night. He's on 8-game hitting streak, multiple hits in 5 games during that time. Yeah, he's hitting over 600 on that streak. Barreling the ball, definitely. You got to look at Kyle Tucker today. Definitely as one of your top overall plays. Smash spot for Tucker. And I don't think he's even getting any. I don't think Tucker's even getting any kind of ownership either. Who else we got? Springer's a good spot. Yordan Alvarez, great spot. Yeah, Tucker's not even like getting any kind of so good. He didn't get hurt or something, did he? I'm not even on there. He's down there. So 241 ISO, 380 WOBA, 284 batting average against righties. Kyle Tucker at 4.4, of course. Got Boomstick and Coors. Brady on righty though. Sam Hilliard's 3,100. He's cheap one at Coors. So there's all these names. I mean, Buxton may be the best overall play because he's going up against a lefty. But so kind of wrap it up there. I like Austin Meadows a lot. I got these are just different plays because you all know about the core plays and stuff and the cores and all that. I'm just trying to be a little bit different for you guys. Chad Pinder, value play. Love Kyle Tucker. Said his name like 10 times here. Winker is starting to hit now against Javier. Lefty on righty. You can play Winker tonight. Alvarez definitely. And then you got the course plays, Connor Joe, Charlie Blackman, Soto. And I did mention, I don't see getting much ownership right now, but I did mention Yadi Hernandez. I didn't realize Yadi Hernandez is like 34 years old. Last year I thought he was like a rookie. He's in his 30s. So Hernandez in play. All right, but if you want to just look at straight ownership for like cash plays, your top ownership right now is going to be Soto by far. Trout's catching ownership, Otani, and that's it. But that's all going to be changed in the next few hours. All right, any questions there before I give you maybe my top stack and my home run call before I stop breathing here? Allergies are really bad right now here in Tampa. I'm not mentioning Otani enough because I just think he's in a slump, but he's got to be in play. Okay, wind dies down. You got to like the White Sox in stacks. But I don't think it's going to be. Okay, who else do we like? Astros. Astros are probably my favorite stack. Yeah. Let me call them up here. Going up against Chris Flexen. Chris Flexen doesn't strike anybody out. You wanna be different. Jason Castro should be playing today, the catcher. So maybe go like a start in the middle, like Alvarez, Tucker, little Chas McCormick, Castro, something like that, and Jeremy Pena, because Pena can hit righties. That's what I would do. I would go 5 through 9 or something like that if I'm doing the Astro stacks. Like them. Who else do we like? I mean, I'm not going to talk about Coors. Of course, you get Coors. Nationals against Marquez. They can be cheaper, but they may not be as popular because it's Marquez. Definitely Rockies. I said the Astros, and I think maybe my sneaky play if the game goes off is, like I said, probably the Tigers, because I think Bryce Wilson is terrible. I would go with like an Austin Meadows. I would probably do a wraparound like a Tucker Barnhart, Akil Baddoo, Meadows, Javi Baez, something like that. You can throw like a Torkelson in there. And the Pirates' pen is terrible too. Yeah, maybe throw Torkelson in there. So then do something like a Baddoo, Baez, Baddoo, Grossman, Baez, Meadows. And then if you want to get different, like a Torkelson. If you want to do a 5-man. I like that. Love the Astro stack. And I guess that's probably, it's 11 games, a lot of games to look at. Anybody else I really like for stack wise, if that wind changes and like I said, in Wrigley, I'll be all over the White Sox. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Any questions? Gleyber Torres is getting, and thank you, was it Metalloy 419? Gleyber Torres, yeah. And I was always a big Torres guy, and I started getting real frustrated with him, but the kid's starting to hit. So I think he's second base now in DK, right? He's shortstop on FanDuel. Yeah, he's going up against Manoah. Going to be very low owned tonight. But said bomb last night. He had a bomb against Kansas City. So he's in a hitter's park. So he's a streaky hitter. So, and Manoah's not going to pitch all 9 innings. So yeah, nice call. That's a good call on Gleyber. I didn't even mention these Yankees like Judge and Stanton, and Judge is on fire. All right, my home run call. And that'll be it. So I'm gonna say Austin Meadows. I've been harping Meadows all day, so I might as well go Austin Meadows. And once again, I'm not saying I'm going to use Austin Meadows in cash yet because of the weather. I'm not sure I was going to rank out ownership, but if I'm making 2 lineups, Meadows is definitely going to be on one of my 2 lineups. Because I get a lot of people DMing me at the end of the day, and they're like, "You talked about so and so, and you didn't have them in your main lineup." And people will look. And then I had some people complain yesterday because I touted Pablo Lopez, but I will continue to tout Pablo Lopez. I would again today when the guy's got a .39 ERA, the best changeup in baseball, and going up against one of the worst offenses in baseball. So sorry. And that's my sermon for the day. And like I said, I guess it's Meadows. And if it's going to be, you want to be really popular, probably CJ Cron. All right. So that went quick. Good luck, guys. Lock is the normal 7:05 p.m. tonight. Big slate. I'll have the top plays out later. Be in our premium Discord. Once again, $25 a month. First 2 months includes all sports, especially now with their tennis stuff coming out. We'll have a Formula One auto racing show Friday morning, along with after the MLB show Friday. A lot of good stuff coming up. We'll probably have some tennis stuff, some golf stuff coming up, as a different sports, NHL playoffs going on. And once again, check out Eric's NASCAR does a really good job there, and or NHL from Mark, my co-host on a PrizePicks show. All right, guys, thank you. Good luck. Have a good Tuesday.